Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel, and today has been the day you guys have all been waiting for, and I have been waiting for, and that is to see Alfredo's reaction to his 2010 Legacy GT with a fully custom rotated turbo kit and a big turbo. I am so excited for today and getting to see Alfredo's reaction to his car for the first time. As you guys know and been following, and if you haven't, I'm going to talk to you guys about what's on this car. But here we have a 2010 Legacy GT, and as most of you know that own these cars, they are kind of the mix between the new 2015 WRX and the older EJ motor. So this thing has the EJ motor, but it had a 2015 style WRX turbo kit that is located on the bottom of the engine and makes it pretty difficult to do any kind of upgrades as far as turbo kits on these cars without doing a fully custom turbo kit. So that's what we did on the car. We went ahead and ripped off that factory turbo kit. Ranchbuilt built an amazing, brand new, fully custom header, up pipe, rotated style turbo kit, and we are using the ETS 4-inch front mount intercooler on this thing, and it has been doing awesome. It is limited by fuel. We are on pump gas here. I wish we could have done an E85 map on the car, but unfortunately the owner is just not around E85 and it didn't make sense for them. Maybe at a later time he'll come back and we'll be able to do an E85 map on this car, because it would make a ton more power, guys. So this thing does have a built factory engine in the car, so it has a stock case with forged piston and rods. Most of the time we call that a stage 3 engine through our program. This engine was built by another shop. It does have aftermarket head studs on it as well. It has an upgraded ACT Extreme Duty street clutch. That is a full disc clutch still. Drives like stock, drives awesome. Turbo kit wise, I'm going to talk to you about it as soon as I open up the hood, but I know all you guys want to know the numbers on this thing, so I went ahead and took the time to print off dyno graph on it to show you. Hopefully the camera picks it up good. I'm going to tell you what they are first. So on pump gas, it's just 92 octane. You go down, fill up at the gas station. We made 360 wheel, 317 wheel torque, and that is on 15 pounds, guys. That was freaking awesome. Then we went ahead and stepped it up a notch. We went to the normal industry standard, 25 pounds on pump gas, and this thing made 447 wheel and 388 foot-pounds of torque. So definitely is an awesome power band on the car. I'm going to show you it here, and the car is coming into power at 41 to 4300 RPMs. I am still controlling it because, like I said, this is a mix between the 15 WRX and the older EJ style cars. So this does have a 5-speed style transmission in it, but it is a 6-speed. So we know that that trans is kind of weak after about 400 wheel. That's when their lifetime is going to be shortened, obviously. And I have another freaking bee out here attacking me. But here is the graph. Enough talk, guys. There's what we look like. A really nice flat power band with a really nice power band, guys. I went ahead and upped the limiter on this thing. So we're coming into power here at about 41 to 43, and then we're revving it out to 7,400 RPMs. As we do still have factory heads on this thing, so we have to be mindful of those factory valve springs floating, and we do have to be mindful of our camshaft, which obviously it's showing that it's still holding up top. And I'm going to open this thing up here, put this dyno graph down before it blocks the camera. But we have to be mindful of that, obviously. At the time, he didn't do camshafts in this thing because it had that bottom mount turbo kit on it, and it has a factory sump pump that goes on the back of the passenger head that runs off a camshaft. So now that we don't have that system, I don't see any reason why we couldn't do an STI style camshaft in this, because this is just an EJ motor with dual ABCS, so I don't see why we couldn't. So I think later on this car will be back for maybe a set of upgraded heads. I know he's going to be back for an upgraded STI 6-speed transmission, because this trans, eventually it's going to break, guys. Depending on how he drives it. You know, if he babies it around and he just tips into it, it's probably going to last for quite some time. But he was out there launching the car, flat foot shifting, aggressively shifting, sidestepping it, things like that. Obviously this transmission is going to break, guys. So that's no surprise. Here is the beautiful setup, guys. This is what it final look looks like. This thing came out so awesome. Super happy with it. As you guys know, we use the competition IAG AOS's. That thing is up on its own pedestal there. And we went ahead and we went with a Garrett GTX 3576R. That is in a tile 82 housing for the hot side. This is a full V-band kit as well. And this header underneath is even more beautiful, guys. Look at that thing down there. I know it's going to be hard because it's on the ground, you can definitely take a look at some of the videos we had of building this car if you're just tuning in. But this thing is on speed density as well, guys. This thing has a set of FIC 1650cc stainless body injectors on it. We have Torque Solution fuel rails, their fuel line kit, and we have AEM 340 in the tank. So that gives you an idea of the setup on it. This thing is such a cool project. I'm super happy to be part of it. I'm super happy to see Alfredo's reaction. This has been one of his dreams come true for seeing this vision and this build. So I'm excited to see his reactions as this car today, and that's what we're gonna have. This thing does have MagnaFlow. I'm pretty sure it's a MagnaFlow exhaust on the back. I think I might have said it was something different the other time, but I'll do a cold start for you, and then that's gonna wrap it up until Alfredo gets here, because then once he gets here, we're gonna go for the first drive. So I fire this thing up here. Sounds so good, so smooth, no drone or anything like that. A little bit of a RAS on the very low RPM, but here's a cold start. Definitely sounds good, guys. Go up here. If you were here, you could hear the turbo actually trying to spool at idle. So this thing, we did do a Koyo rad in it as well as an upgrade. But another thing to touch base on this, let me shut the car back off for you. Woo! It's already getting warm out here, so he's gonna be here at the heart of the day too, 12 to 1 p.m. So we're probably not gonna rip on it too much, but we're still gonna get his reaction, guys. I'm so excited for this. And now I lost my train of thought about the other thing. Dang, can't remember it. But that's gonna wrap up the beginning of this video. Next up, we get to see Alfredo's reaction, guys. It's gonna be awesome. So excited for it. Can't wait for the future of this car, doing more work with him on this, and that's what I was going to talk about. So a lot of you in the comments were talking to us about the Garrett turbo. Yes, we do use a lot of precisions around here. You guys know that I've talked in the past about liking precision turbos more over Garrett, and it didn't always used to be that way. So I've talked about this before. When precision, I don't know, I want to say when they first came out, but when we first started using them for Subarus, probably about 5-6 years ago, is what I would say it would be, we had a lot of smoking issues because of the crankcase pressure on the Subaru engine. And with the ETS turbo, or sorry, with the precision turbo, they went ahead and revised it at a later time. So we were kind of going back and forth between Garrett and precision because, well, our Garrett's just, they would never make the power we wanted, and then we go over to precision and it would make the power we want, but then we had a car that smoked at stoplights and every once in a while while cruising, and obviously if you have a newer car, that's pretty annoying. So we were switching back and forth back then, and this Garrett, the GTX 3576, is going to be one of my favorite street turbos ever, guys. It is a turbo that comes in with a great power band, depending on the setup, 3,700 RPMs full boost to 4,300, depending on the setup and the fuel that you're using. But an awesome turbo, guys, for the street. I mean, it holds power all the way to redline. This thing on E85 is a monster. It'll make up to 650, 700 on a dyno jet. On the Mustang, we've made 580 and 580 torque. With Travis's car, his car went 10.2 at 138, and that's a full weight 19 STI, guys. So this turbo is awesome. It will do everything that you want underneath of that 650, 700 wheel range. After that, then I would have you guys step up to a Precision 6466. And then after that, obviously, you know, we go further down the road and bigger turbos. So that's what I wanted to talk about, because I know I've seen a lot of comments about that. I also have seen a lot of comments down below about our transmission cocktail and being able to use it in WRXs and older Foresters and STIs. You can use it in any manual transmission car, guys. Any manual transmission that we've used in Hondas, Subarus, Evos, everything we used in it. We've had great results. I've seen some negative comments too, and you know what? Everyone's going to have their opinion. Everybody's going to have a different experience in life on anything of what it is. Our experience that we've had it in the last 8 years is no issues at all, and we have transmissions doing things that others are saying are impossible. So I'm going to take that with the fluid has been doing us great, and it's been doing the other cars great, that we put it in and fixed a lot of transmissions to where, you know, they do have a light grind, or they do have a grind, and you know, you say it's not fixing it the correct way. they're not always bad because it's a synchro, guys. Sometimes it is fluid that is the problem in the transmission, not lubricating and making the synchro actually do its job. So there is other things that play a role. So I just wanted to talk on that. Enough of talking your ear off. I know that's going to be a long intro. You guys probably fast forward, but we get to see Alfredo's reaction next, guys. So stay tuned. Here we are, guys. We got Alfredo. You ready, guy? You excited for your car?
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's been a long time coming. We've had this longer than I would have liked to have it, but good things come with time. And we are here, ready to go for that first drive, guys. Been talking about the setup of him, not trying to put him on the spot with the camera, because not everyone is used to cameras. I know when we first started out, your boy was not used to cameras at all. So let me put the seat up so you got some room back there. There we go. All right, so when you bought this car, was this what your first intentions were?
Yes and no. The only reason was because head gaskets went out, so was looking for a builder to build a block, but a lot of people from Seattle sent me somewhere else and went to someone different, getting better, but came back a year later looking for someone else and found better.
Yeah, I'm super happy to be able to work with you on it, and I appreciate it. Coming to us, giving us your trust, and in the end product. How's the first initial drives here? I know it's a lot different.
It's a lot different. I haven't driven this for a long time. The ACT clutch compared to my little Honda, way different.
Oh yeah, that one's pretty soft.
Yeah.
Now why? I know this has been a question. Why did you prefer, you can go that way, to buy this platform? What put you off to the Legacy?
Grandma.
She's like, yep, that was me.
And wanted more room compared to an STI. A little bit smaller, I think, inside. Looks more like a grandma's car.
Yep.
Nobody's gonna expect.
You don't get harassed as much.
Yeah.
Too, you know?
And cheaper on insurance.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
This thing is such a sleeper, guys. I mean, look, just driving here, it's quiet.
Yeah, it's quiet.
It's really toned down. I had talked to you guys about how it's kind of odd with this thing where you have to have AC fans on to keep the fans at high speed mode. So, I mean, yeah, we're gonna go right. So we do have the AC on in here, so I'm sorry if you're picking up some wind noise, but it is also, so it says 83 degrees out, so it's definitely a little warmer today. So we're not gonna be full set in it, but I'm sure he's gonna get to enjoy this thing. He has not got to drive this thing at all yet, so you have no clue of what's gonna come. We're gonna go up here and we're gonna go left out into Mexico over here. We'll have nice open country roads for you, and we'll get out there a little ways, but just driving it, drivability.
Drives real good, drives like stock, and sounds good.
Thank you. I know it's going to be a little bit lazier down low because obviously you don't have that bottom mount turbo that's instant, you know, so it is obviously going to be lazier. This thing not coming into power until about 4,300 is when it hits that full boost. So right from the 25 to 35, you know, it doesn't really have that kick that the stock one does. So that is something that you got to get used to with obviously driving around, but it has good motor power. You know, that's what we try to make sure. Nice and smooth. We'll go out here for a little ways and then we'll get into some straights. But definitely it just cruising around, at least you can drive it like it's stock, you know?
Yeah.
You don't really notice. The exhaust is super mellow.
Yeah.
We were both a little bit distant about doing this exhaust too, because we really wanted that NVIDIA Q300 that you guys know we love. But this exhaust really surprised us. I mean, it doesn't have a resonator in it. It's all straight to the mufflers, and it really doesn't have any kind of rasp. Just when you first initially barely touch the gas at idle is when it does. But cruise along, no drone.
No drone.
No nothing.
Sounds good.
Man, I can't wait. He's gonna be so taken off guard by this thing. So, are we gonna do more power in the future?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do the top axis flex fuel. Trying to do that transmission. STI.
And what I was telling them, I think you might have heard, I don't see any reason why we couldn't do upgraded camshafts now that we don't run that bottom mount turbo, because we don't have anything running on the cams. So I don't see why. After this little loop-de-doo here, we'll be able to tip into it for you guys for the first time. Probably start in second gear. It's probably the best one. First wraps out pretty quick.
Oh, yeah. It always does.
This thing has a really long gear transmission, but now of this newfound power, guys, this thing rips through the gears. I did set your limiter a bit higher on it now. It's at 7,400. Give her a little bit of room to move out, but we're still in our safe zone there. But here we go, guys. I'm so excited right now. For you to feel it.
Just let me know where.
I'll probably go down one more gear just for the space.
Somewhere here?
Yep, right here is good. different animal, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you definitely see the longer gears where it's hard to transition the power over unless you really flat foot shift it. If you kind of ride the clutch a little bit going into the next gear, that's when I've noticed it really transitions the power. But
a lot of power.
It's a lot. It just wants to rev. It doesn't stop, does it?
No, it just wants to keep going.
Isn't it crazy? You can feel that power band I showed you on the dyno graph where it just keeps gaining its peak power at redline. It just keeps pulling. What do you think? Really tame?
Yeah, real tame,
but has
real
power.
Good, has power.
This is with AC on, guys.
This is what I wanted.
Yeah. What do you think?
I like it. It just drives really fast.
A lot different than before.
Yeah.
Way different on draft.
It loves those high RPMs, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Back then, I don't know.
You really fall off.
Supposedly had a little tune.
Yep.
Did 212 stock.
Oh, we got a big jump in
212, 222 in torque supposedly.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it felt way different.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And it drove like, to be honest, it kind of drove like shit.
Yeah.
Didn't
So
drive very good.
Hopefully this is what you wanted.
Yeah.
Nice and smooth transition. I'm so excited for you. Does meet all the expectations?
Oh yeah.
We'll probably go out here a little ways further and we'll let him tip into a little better straightaway, and then we'll be wrapping this video up and he gets to take this home and enjoy it forever.
Yeah.
Until the next time we come back for bigger.
Yeah.
What do you think? We could end up doing a closed deck in this thing? We could do cams, a 6-speed?
Later on, yeah, when I blow this, I'm actually want to go take it to a track, maybe around September.
Yep.
Hopefully it doesn't blow anything, but if it does,
Giving a little prey for the strands.
yeah, that
We'll
transmission.
be trying to get her to stay alive with us.
Yeah.
You know, the 15WXs, they seem to hold together at 400 wheels, so we'll really see with keeping the power band up towards the top. I think this thing will stay alive for quite a while for you. I think up until you go E85, and then we'll probably have some issues with the newfound lower torque. Then we will. But this thing is such a sleeper.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I know he's been he cheated on you guys. He was watching the video. He got to see what she looked like in that one video where we did a poll.
Oh yeah. Saw
But
that yesterday.
she was a ripper, huh?
Yeah.
Now you get to see it in person. It doesn't compare.
I was
to
like,
video.
he's rating at 75. I was like, I've never done that.
You're like, that's pretty far out.
Yeah.
Now the stock turbos, they start on these, they tend to fall off like at 55.
Yeah. it
They
felt
start
like
to taper
sick,
down right in that range, and I've noticed that in the factory map on the ECU too. They ramp power in through the mid-range and then they taper boost down too. Whereas this, we're holding boost all the way out to redline because obviously we have a turbo that's efficient for it. But yeah, you can go ahead and go right, and then we'll get out to some more straights out here. I'll do a front view for you guys so you can see it. You can probably tip into it here if you really want to in the lower gear. See what it's like. First gear, here we go.
Let's see if I don't.
See if you break it.
See if I shift right.
All right. I'm right. It's gonna hit pretty high at first. There we go. Yeah, there's the power. Woo! Nice little pops out the back, huh? It's crazy, huh?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, this thing is, guys, the camera really does not pick it up. It doesn't do it justice at all. This thing is so much fun. It has to be a pretty solid 450 number because this feels very, very solid to me at that. And, I mean, it's pretty much standard. 25 pounds of boost on this turbo. It should have no problems making that 450 number. Right on top of this hill, it does level out. If you want to do one final pull for us, for the boys, he's ready. Oh yeah. Woo!
Damn,
He's a ripper.
Doesn't even feel you go that fast.
No, it doesn't. We're going a solid 120 kilometers, guys. We're
Yep.
moving out. Yeah, no, it doesn't feel like it at all, does it?
No.
She don't stop in fourth either. Fourth just freight trains. So you do have that, obviously you guys hear in between gears, it kind of falls out of boost. And it's gonna do that with this longer gear ratio. You could truly flat foot shift the car and it would keep it in the power better, but it's mainly the gear ratio of this trans. It is very long. So to keep it alive, I need to keep the power up higher. And I want him to be able to enjoy the car for a while anyways, before we have any kind of failure. We can always ramp power in later, make it more aggressive, whenever he's ready to do his upgrades. But for now, you get a really solid driving car. You can kind of get used to this power too. It is a big jump than what you had, and should be enough to daily drive this car when he really wants to. So that is the nicest thing about about it to be out here. It says updated now 94 degrees, guys, and we got the AC on. You're getting to see this, so definitely a bit of a harder test drive on the car for you, but we have to keep this AC on to keep the motor happy with the fans going at their higher speed. We're probably going to end up having to look into that for this platform at a later time when we do make more power, but for now, that is the fix for it, and it is kind of odd to have AC on when you're doing pulls, but that's what the car wants, so that's what we're going to be doing, because I noticed with not having the AC on, we were getting hotter coolant temps and the fans just weren't moving at a high rate of speed, and there was no settings in the ECU for me to manipulate them or change them that I could find. So maybe we'll find something later on. We'll go ahead and go right here. So that is going to wrap this up for you. Any final words for him?
Well, if you want something built, call Batter.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it a lot.
If you want something good, done right, call Batter.
I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to the future of this car and getting to work with you on it, and I think this is the big news for all you 5th gen legacy owners, to see something like this and see progress. You know, there's not that many of these cars out there that are like this and be able to be modded, and there's not a lot of answers, so hopefully we are answering those for you guys, and we will keep you updated on how this thing goes. I'm sure we'll be seeing it at the track, hopefully come out with us some nights.
Yep.
He wants to race this thing. I know she's ready for it to race.
Oh yeah, she wants to see
Oh,
it.
yeah.
She's been wanting to see it for a while.
So they get to enjoy this thing all the way back home, guys. Where are you guys from?
Leavenworth.
Leavenworth. So that is about a 3-hour drive from us.
Yeah.
We'll go right here. About a 3-hour drive. So definitely keep in touch, buddy.
Oh yeah.
If you ever have any issues, just always let me know, because if you don't tell me, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I always tell everybody. And from there, that's gonna wrap it up, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this series of a build, and I know it. He is super excited to have his car back finally. It's been quite some time. So until next time, guys, I'll see you in the next videos.
Living life up in the fast lane. Hey. Living life up in the fast lane. And I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down. Living life up in the fast lane. Pedal to the ground, pedal to the ground, pedal to the ground. Living life up in the fast lane. Life, though you lemons, you just put them in Coronas, Coronas, Coronas. I've been working, I need that advance with the bonus, the bonus, the bonus. Ain't no thoughts about tomorrow, I'm just living in the moment, the moment, the moment. Full tank of gas and 200 on the dash, bitch, I'm zoning, I'm zoning, I'm zoning. Fast lane, living life up in the fast lane. Hey. Living life up in the fast lane. And I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down. Living life up in the fast lane. Pedal to the ground, pedal to the ground, pedal